Thank you for allowing me to join your practice today. I'm Robert Lee, and we're just going to do real gentle yoga today. I have a chair behind me. I'm not in a chair at the moment. You'll have the option of doing most of the stuff in a chair, or we'll do a little bit standing up. But let's just go ahead and spend a moment here and just settle in and begin to empty out. Close down your eyes or lighten your gaze. And then just tune into your breath. Maybe make the exhale just a little bit longer than the inhale. Begin to empty out. Just begin to untangle yourself from thoughts, from whatever might be going on. And just devote an hour for yourself to be fully present. So let's go ahead and bring our hands together at the heart center. We're going to tune in together best. I don't know if you're familiar with Kundalini yoga. This isn't specifically a Kundalini yoga class, but we do meditations and other parts of it that are Kundalini. So we're going to tune in that way. And you'll probably just maybe listen unless you're familiar with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. But let's rub our hands together. It's real easy to catch. And probably by the second time, we're going to do it 3 times, you'll have it and you can join in. So now bring your hands into the heart center. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Another deep inhale. And fully exhale and empty out. Use your abs, push your abs in to expel the last of the breath. And then we'll inhale now to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And the Mangala Charan mantra is for protection. And you can follow along and listen with this. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siringurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sirigurudeve Name. One more time. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. And now take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath up at the top. Pull everything up and in, abs up and in. And then just gently exhale and relax your hands down to your lap. So like I said, we can either use a chair today. I'll demonstrate both ways if I need to. We're going to do really gentle stuff. We're going to focus mainly on the upper triangle, and I'm going to back up just a little bit here. So if you're sitting in a chair, go ahead and just grab the side of the chair with your left hand. And we're going to just raise our right hand straight up. And just momentarily, just stretch right straight up through the top of the fingers. And now we're just going to take it over to the side. And you may or may not have flexibility. We're mainly opening up the right rib cage here. It's more that than trying to turn ourselves into a big C shape. So just mainly reaching up and just slightly over will open up the rib cage. and continue to breathe long and deep here. And now go ahead and inhale deep, and then come back to center, unwind, and just rest your hands on your lap for a moment. Roll your shoulders out, whatever you need to do here. We're going to take it into the other side now. So with your right hand, just grab the edge of the chair and then raise the left hand up, straight up overhead to begin with. Initiate a nice long spine, and then just begin to take it over. You don't need to come into a really tight C shape. Just open up the left rib cage now. Deep breathing. Just envision creating a lot of space in your chest, in your heart center. And now go ahead and inhale and just come back to center. Once again, pause. Hands on the lap now. We're going to continue with a similar motion here in our next exercise. So this time we're going to take our hand and we're going to bring our left hand behind us. You can grab the back of the chair. You can turn sideways in the chair too for this one. If you're sitting in a chair that has a back in it. This one we're actually going to take all the way up overhead now. And your left hand is behind you. And we're just going to bring this down to the left knee. Bring the right hand down to the left knee. Initiate a nice tall spine here. Just envision everything lined up. And now just begin to turn into this a little bit. Just be really gentle. We're not trying to reach any maximum stretch here. Just find an edge where maybe you begin to experience a little bit of discomfort and then back off. You can also turn your eyes as well as your head. If you turn your eyes in that direction, looking over your shoulder, you're actually activating the pituitary gland. Now go ahead and inhale and then come back to center here now. And just pause at center, maybe shake yourself out just a little bit. We're going to take it on to the other side now. This time we're going to drop our right hand behind us and then take the left arm up overhead. Once again, stretch up and then bring it down to the right knee and just begin to gently stretch into it. Turn your head slowly, gently. And then if it's in your wheelhouse, go ahead and turn your eyes. Don't strain your eyes, but just turn them gently with the turn. And then go ahead and inhale now. And exhale and come back to center now. Momentarily line yourself up. We're trying to get everything nice and lined up here. So just spend a moment now, feel the alignment in your body. And we're going to begin, first of all, we're going to begin shoulder shrugs. It's going to be one shoulder up, one shoulder down. And we're going to use the breath here. So use your breath to power this motion. Inhale up on one side, exhale down. However your breath pattern fits this, you can move at a rapid pace or a slow pace. And if you need to, go ahead and stop and actually stretch. Sometimes it's actually a nice feeling to stop and stretch in a diagonal like that. Otherwise, just continue now for about another 30 seconds, back and forth, shoulder to shoulder. It's kind of like a broomstick in between our shoulders here. Shoulders are just coming up and down, and keep the breath full. And now go ahead and inhale, squeeze both shoulders up, squeeze tight as you can, sip in more air, feel your lungs completely squeeze. And then exhale and just gently roll your shoulders down the back space. And let's just take the shoulders here for maybe 15 seconds and give deep rolls. We'll go in both directions. So whichever way you start, just continue with long, deep shoulder rolls. And keep coming back to the awareness of your own experience. Whatever it is that's happening, just let it be. Nothing to change. Anything that's distracting, just keep coming back to the awareness of your own experience. And now once again, inhale, squeeze the shoulders up tight. Deep inhale. And then exhale and just relax the shoulders down now. And for the benefit of Bess, I'll explain what the suspension of the breath is and the deep inhale and then the suspension. There's two purposes for that. One is that it sets the prana of the exercise that we've just done. So just imagine, all the energy that's created in those moments of that exercise. And then that deep inhale and the suspension of the breath actually pulses everything out into the body. It sends oxygen out. So it actually sets the prana for the exercise that we just did. So that's the purpose of that. And the other purpose is that it also will let you know clearly when the exercise is over. So it's a signal for you as well, just to know that that's the end of the exercise. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead now, and I'm going to sit sideways so you can get a better view of this. And this is a simple spinal flex. It's done in a lot of different forms of yoga. The important thing here is just, once again, find yourself sitting up straight. Maybe your chest is slightly extended. And what this looks like from that view that you're sitting in is, as we exhale, we're going to round into the backspace. Our arms are going to remain on our knees, and they're going to remain relatively straight throughout. This is the exhale. And then we're going to pull forward with our arms and come into the front space. And this arch here is where we inhale. And the head stays level here. We're not going up and down as we go back. So the camel right spine flex is just exactly like this. Inhale and exhale. And go ahead now and just join in. And let this be slow to begin with. We'll do probably 30 seconds or more. We'll get our spine loosened up a little bit. And just keep coming back to the breath. Keep the breath full. And just feel the shift. It's almost like a bellows working. This particular posture and exercise works not only on the spine, but it gives to the lungs a really bellows-like quality. You can really squeeze out the air on the exhale. And now go ahead and inhale, sit up straight. Once again, suspend the breath. And now if you know what Mul Bandha is, root lock, it's just squeeze down on the sex organs, pull up on the navel. It's like you have to pee really bad and you can't. You got to just squeeze it. And now pull up on the navel, suspend the breath. And then exhale. And now still seated in a chair or on the floor, we're going to continue to loosen up the spine just a little bit here. We're going to do a slightly constricted type of a spinal twist now. We're going to use a bear grip, and it doesn't matter which hand is which, but just bring your hands together in a bear grip right at the heart center, just in about 5-6 inches in front of the heart center now, and create just a little bit of isometric pull on the hands. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale to the left and exhale to the right. And this can be done quickly. It can be done slowly. Just begin to wring out the lower organs. This will help bring more energy up the spine. As I said, that's what we're going to be working on more, is the upper triangle today. And now go ahead and inhale to center. Suspend the breath, pull the hands, don't let them come apart, just pull the hands. And exhale and keep the hands together, keep a little bit of isometric pull in the hands. And we're going to take our hands with this motion. Just imagine you have a fulcrum right at the heart center. Use your breath to propel the motion. You can inhale one side, exhale the other. Keep a slight pressure, pulling apart on the hands. And then go ahead and pause at center, deep inhale. Pull apart on the hands now. Use a good pressure, pull, pull, pull. And exhale and go ahead and relax the hands down once again. And just pause momentarily now and notice what you notice. So this next exercise we can do seated or standing up, but why don't we all come standing next to the chair? We'll have our chair with us for balance. We're not going to be doing what we did last week in tree pose. Just have your chair near you where you can grab it. And we'll all come standing for a couple of heart opening exercises here now. So first of all, just find yourself standing in your best mountain pose. Shift back and forth on your feet. Turn your palms ahead. And then if it's all right, go ahead and close down your eyes momentarily. And just feel the earth under your feet. Maybe spread your toes if you can. Okay, and the next exercise that we're going to do here, I may better turn my ceiling fan off. I actually hit my ceiling fan one day in a class. So, okay. So standing up nice and straight, best mountain pose still. This is going to be a moving posture. So we're going to have the first thing we're going to do is let's bring our hands into fists, just light fists. We're not squeezing tight, just really nice light fists. And then bring them down near the sides here. And the first part of this motion is we're going to inhale, squeeze back. Our arms are going to go back. And then exhale, they're going to go up over the shoulders. And then they're going to come all the way back down again. And then they cross in front of us and come back. And it's like throwing something over our shoulders. And then alternately cross one arm over the other. And use your breath here. Just be good to your shoulders. If you have any shoulder issues, we're going to be doing this for about another 30 seconds. Just feel the opening across the chest. And just imagine there's something maybe you want to get rid of in your life. Just imagine when you come into that motion, just throw it over your shoulder. Be done with it. Just be gone. Continue just a little bit longer now. This is a really good exercise for your rotator cuffs and all of the muscles in the shoulders. So go ahead now and inhale. We're going to squeeze back, squeeze your arms back tight. Squeeze everything up and in now, abs up and in. Suspend the breath. And then exhale. And once again, find your best mountain pose now. This is as much about balance. Just go ahead and close down your eyes now. Feel really present with gravity. Feel how the gravity supports everything. Nothing to hold on to here. Allow your face to relax. All right, now we will use our chair. You may have the balance to do this without a chair. I certainly do not. We're going to do just some really simple static stretches. So you want to have your chair. It doesn't matter which side you start on, but have your chair where you can have your hand on it. And I'll turn sideways here. Have your hand like this. And all we're going to do here, and I don't know what kind of flexibility everybody has, so this will be up to you. You might want to use a belt or a strap, but let's just bring that left leg up under us. And if that's too much of a stretch, you can actually just put your toes on the floor if you can't make that stretch. Let's see, can we do that in the chair? But anyway, just hold the stretch. Continue long, deep breathing here. Look ahead at the horizon. You can actually lean into the stretch a little bit more. You'll stretch your quad a little bit more. Don't overdo it. Now go ahead and inhale deep and then exhale and just put that foot back down on the floor. And then you can either turn around or bring the chair onto the other side. And we'll get a stretch on the other side now. I didn't really see how everybody did with this, but this time I'm going to face forward. So just go ahead now, stand tall, and then just bring your leg up. Use your chair for balance. I'm not sure where your leg is, but just feel that stretch in the quads. We'll hold it now about 15 more seconds. And you can lean back into the stretch. You'll get more, but otherwise just stay where you are. We don't want to exceed our edges in this class. Just find your edge and then back off a little bit. Go ahead now and inhale deep. And then as you exhale, just gently set that foot back on the floor and shake your legs out a little bit now. And the chair is actually going to be in a really good position. So go ahead and have your chair. What I want us to do here is with our feet flat on the floor, just put your hands on the back of the chair and then just gently come down. We're not going to round into this. What we're looking for here is just make a nice tight L. Imagine a 90-degree angle. Your arms can be extended or they can be closer to your body. And just drop your belly down now and look straight down at the floor with your eyes. And begin to stretch out through the crown of your head and your tailbone. I know it seems like you can't do that, but you really actually can just almost will it by leveraging back on your legs and leveraging just ahead a little bit. Any space that you can create in your spine for the nerve to be free is a good space. And go ahead and inhale now, and then come up out of that as you exhale. You can do this on the floor. What we're going to do with the chair, with the seat of the chair, is we're going to do cat cow. You can do cat cow on your hands and knees. So your hands now will be on the seat of the chair. And just imagine that stretch that we just did. Let's come into that stretch first off. Feet are still flat on the floor. Just stretch out like we did before. Come into more or less a downward dog now. If you're on the floor, your hands are on the floor. Just allow everything to sink into a nice mellow downward dog. Triangle pose. And then now you'll want to get more up to where your hands are under your shoulders. And once again, your spine is relatively straight. This time we're going to inhale. The head's going to come up and the belly drops down. Just let everything arch that way. And then on the exhale, we're just going to reverse and we're going to send our back up like a scared cat. Drop the head down. Look at the hips or wherever your eyes come. And then inhale. Come back up into cow. Exhale into cat. And go ahead now and flow through this. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Go ahead and do it 3 more times. And when you're finished, go ahead and inhale now into cow, belly down. The head is up. If you're on the floor, if you're on the chair, head is up. Inhale deep. And then exhale and go ahead and let that go. And just gently come back up to standing again. Come back up into your perfect Tadasana mountain pose. And spend a moment now and just feel relaxed and attached to what's going on. Hopefully by now your body, mind, and spirit are all coming online. And you're just feel the attachment now. And then we'll go ahead and come back down seated for a couple more exercises. We'll be doing a little bit on the back today as well. Everything's going to be well supported today. There's nothing that we're going to do that can't be done in a chair. So once again, just find yourself nice and straight. Line yourself up nice and straight. But be relaxed, don't be rigid. Nice straight spine. Slight lift of the chest. And we're going to work just a little bit now with the throat chakra. So I don't know if anybody has neck issues. You cannot do this. If your neck is all right, what I want you to do is just go ahead and inhale and then exhale and just drop the chin onto the chest or wherever it comes. Maybe it doesn't touch the chest, but just begin to open up the space in the back of the neck. Let that become elongated. Allow gravity just to stretch you a little bit deeper. There's no pushing here. It's all gravity. Keep coming back to your breath. Keep it full. And now go ahead and inhale. And then please exhale and come to the center point once again where your nose is on the horizon. We'll pause there intentionally now. And take a deep inhale. And just allow the head now to go into the back space. Open up the throat chakra here. And be really careful doing this. There's no forcing the neck. Keep all the muscles in the face and neck relaxed. And be sure that you're still lifting up on the chest. And that you're keeping the breath full and staying present. And now go ahead and inhale deep, and then gently bring your head back to that center point as you exhale. And pause now, looking at the horizon. Your eyes can be open, your eyes can be closed. It just depends on which horizon you're looking at. And spend a moment to become fully present. And go ahead now and inhale. We're going to take the hands straight up overhead. It's like gathering everything up overhead. Just imagine everything good, everything beautiful, everything wonderful. Just gather it together up over the head. And bring your palms together and bring them down through the heart center. Pause at the heart center now. Go ahead and just breathe normal here. Put a little bit of pressure between the palms. And now take a deep inhale. Continuous pressure together on the palms and just begin to slowly drift them straight back up overhead, right straight through the center line once again. And maybe you can't get your arms straight. That's all right. Just get them where they come to. And once again, as you exhale, just bring them right back through the heart center. And this time we're going to do a little bit of a sun salutation. I saw a way to do this sitting in a chair, which is interesting. So go ahead and relax now for just a moment. And the motion that we just did, we're going to do that again, but we're going to bring our legs out in front of us now. Bring your legs out in front of you. You can be sitting on the floor or in a chair, but just bring your legs out in front of you. Allow your heels to touch the floor now. And we're going to go ahead and once again, and we're going to begin a series of gathering up overhead. So we're going to inhale deep. Just imagine gathering up all kinds of wonderful things. Palms together. Palms stay together. And now just bow down. Bring your belly down to your thighs. And just continue the stretch wherever you come. It doesn't matter how deep you're stretching here. But if you can, get the heart above the head. Allow the head to be lower than the heart here. Allow everything just to flow. This will be our frontward fold. And now come up and bring your hands up to your knees and pull the spine directly up straight. This is what it would look like if you were doing a normal sun salutation. So this is what you're looking for. And now go ahead and fold back down. If you're in a chair, just go ahead and fold back down to your feet. And then inhale now, and we're going to once again gather everything up overhead. Just imagine sweeping everything wonderful, everything beautiful into your life. Just make a funnel and just let it run down, hands together overhead. And then they come to the heart center. And go ahead now and relax the hands by the side, and we'll go through this one more time. So go ahead and inhale now. And as you exhale, bring the hands together at the heart center, a little bit of pressure in between them. Exhale. Inhale, the hands up overhead, hands stay together. Look up at the hands. Look up. Exhale now and just fold all the way over wherever you come. Allow the belly to come down to the thighs or wherever it comes. And just pause there now in that position momentarily. And then once again, come up into a really nice tight 90-degree angle. Everything in line. Do a little bit of a neck lock. So you push your chin back in. That's a neck lock, and just hold that posture. And now go ahead and fold all the way back down once again. Exhale. And then inhale now, hands all the way back up overhead. And exhale and go ahead and sweep down through the aura. We'll go through this one more time. I'm gonna check my time here. Yeah, we're getting close. Okay. So one more time. Go ahead and inhale deep now. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, palms are still together, hands are up over the head. Reach, look up at the hands. Exhale and completely fold over now. Just enjoy that stretch momentarily. Come up into a nice tight L, 90 degrees. Inhale, stretch out through the top of the head and through the butt. Exhale, back down. And inhale, hands up overhead once again. Look up at the hands now, and then just sweep the hands down through the aura once again. And just pause momentarily now. Notice what you notice. Stay inside. Continue to feel the energy rising. We have a little bit more time here before we go into final relaxation. So just pause here now for a moment. And this is a really good exercise for cranking up the energy. So if you're in a chair, I would bring your legs out or your feet out to, the edge of the mat, something like that. If you're on the floor, same thing. If you're sitting on the floor, you can do this exercise. Our hands are going to be together in Venus lock. All the fingers are interlaced together. And our thumbs can either be crossed or they can be right next to each other. That's your choice. Our arms are going to be really pretty much straight here. And just imagine the old-fashioned pump handle. And that's exactly what we're going to do is we're going to begin to pump energy up. You don't have to come all the way up over the head. Just imagine maybe a 60-degree angle. So you're like this. And the movement is going to be between that space right there. 60 up, 60 down. Inhale up, exhale down. Yeah, you got it. That's beautiful. And let this be really meditative. I know it'll begin to irritate your shoulder within a short amount of time, but just see if you can relax slightly into it. This is another good one for the rotator cuffs, for the trapezius, for the subscapular tendons.
Modification. This if it's pulling in my shoulder blades.
What's that, Bess?
So when I do that movement,
yeah,
the back of my shoulder blades, in between where my spine is, it's very sore and kind of pulling.
Okay, so that's a great question, and I really appreciate you asking that. And this class, I should announce it, is definitely open to feedback and questioning. So if that movement, if you have a hard time with that, then just go ahead and, kind of bring your shoulders in. What we're doing here is we're just trying to raise some energy. You can still use the same mudra, and then you're basically using your arms. All we're trying to do is we're trying to pump some energy from the lower triangle to the upper triangle. So how does that work?
That feels a lot better. Thank you.
All right, so continue that. We'll go about another 15 seconds. If you can go up overhead, that's fine. Otherwise, just, you can come in and out of the posture. Any posture we're doing is up for modification. This is your body. This is your experience, your yoga. And now go ahead and inhale and just stretch the arms kind of straight out. And if your shoulder bothers you, just keep your elbows in. But otherwise, just go ahead and stretch right straight out in front of the heart center. And then exhale and bring your hands down. And just relax here for a moment now. Are you on the floor, Beth? Or in a chair?
I'm on the
floor?
Yeah.
All right. So you're familiar with some yogic moves. So what we're going to do sitting in a chair is go ahead and cross the right foot at right about the knee or just the lower thigh. And if you're on the floor, you know how this looks. And maybe this is all you're going to do today is just work your hip and stretch just a little bit. Take a little bit of time and just kind of roll it around a little bit. Be curious. And then if you're on the floor, go ahead and bring your hands behind the knee. Otherwise, just keep moving your hip around the way you are. And then pull your left foot up off the floor. I'm going to go onto the floor. So now we're like this. Hands are behind the knee. Leg is just dangling, not really doing anything. And now for a little bit more challenge. You can do this if you're in a chair too. Just bring your foot up off the floor a little bit and challenge the stretch a little bit. You'll feel it mainly in the piriformis, that part of the glutes. Just stretch up towards the ceiling. And if you're in a chair, I wouldn't try to stretch out very far like that. Just tap your foot up and down on the floor a few times. Challenge yourself that way just a little bit. And then go ahead now and lower that to the floor. And we're going to come now onto the other side. So go ahead and cross the other ankle over the other leg. And your legs are going to feel very different. Mine feel very different. This one I can't stretch nearly as far. But just begin gently moving the hip around. And if you're in a chair, maybe that's all you do today. Just leverage the hip around a little bit. Stretch it manually. Massage the foot a little bit. And if you're on the floor, just go ahead and grab behind the knee. And then just begin to take the foot up towards the ceiling. Allow everything to drain down from the foot. Continue long, deep breath here. And you don't have to take your leg up to the ceiling. Maybe this is where you want to work today. It's completely up to you. I'm going to hold for another 10 seconds here. And now deep inhale. And then exhale and gently lower everything back to the floor. And pause here for a moment with your feet up near the buttocks. This is constructive rest pose. Just allow yourself to stretch out in this position for a moment. We're going to do just one last thing here before we go into final relaxation. Go ahead and stretch the left leg out long on the floor. Hug the right knee into the chest. Just unfold the right arm along the floor as a counterweight, counterbalance. And look along that right arm, and we're just going to take the knee across the center line. Be really gentle with yourself here. Don't overstretch yourself. Take a couple of long, deep breaths in this position. You might feel a little bit of popping. And then go ahead and come back to center now. Stretch the right leg out on the floor. Take the left knee with the right arm. Just unfold the left arm along the floor. Look along that left arm. And then just take the knee across the center. A couple of long, deep breaths. Allow your foot to relax. The feet want to get into this even though they're not doing anything. And now that that's done, go ahead and come back to center. Keep your feet up in the position they're in, more or less here. And just hug everything into a nice tight ball. Just hug everything into a ball. Bring your nose up towards your knee if you can. If you're sitting in a chair, just kind of round over a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and just begin long, deep relaxation. And today we'll go with silence. And the theme of today's relaxation is just space. Just imagine emptying out. So we're going to take the next minutes here and just imagine with your breath emptying everything out from the inside. Take some really deep breaths now. Exhale fully, and you can roar this out. This is a sigh breath. A sigh breath might come out as nice mellow sigh breath. Might come out as frustration, deep breath. It might come out like that. On the third breath, though, just allow it to be natural. Allow your breath to be like a ghost now as you settle in. Allow each breath to guide you deeper as you scan your body. Just begin at the toes. Kind of imagine you can circularly rotate around the body, and like an MRI does. Just imagine you have that going on around you. You can completely scan your body in 3 dimensions. From head to toe now, just allow everything to relax. Continue to create space. Get the feeling of space within. Physicists and scientists tell us that even the most solid objects are made up primarily of space. So just feel your way into that space now. More subtle, gentler places. Continue to come back to the sound of your own breath. Maybe experiment with the breath a little bit. Use your throat. You can change the sound of the breath. Everything from a ghost breath to a butterfly breath. Allow your body in the last few minutes here just to do what it does naturally. Reintegrate, reorient, restore. It's part of the great wisdom of the human body is it knows exactly what to do. We just like to interfere with it a lot. Now continue to listen to the sound of your own breath and bring stillness to the eyes. This is really a difficult thing to do. But just in the last few minutes, see if you can bring the eyes to complete stillness. Continue long, deep breathing. See if you can keep the eyes still under the closed lids. These two things combined together can really slow everything down. Slow the body down, slow the mind down. Experiment with this a little bit in your life. Just see if you can bring complete stillness, even to your eyes. And it's almost like the minute you quit trying to still the eyes, they still themselves. It's like no matter how hard you try, it seems like your eyes want to bounce around. But then once you relax that, it's easier to bring stillness to the eyes. And now go ahead and begin to deepen your breath just a little bit. Nothing to do yet. Just begin to be conscious of your breath. And now just bring a little bit of gentle motion to the fingers and toes. Just wiggle the fingers and toes a little bit. Begin with the small joints. And then begin to roll the wrists and ankles now. Roll them in both directions. Give them a nice, generous roll. And then go ahead now on the floor. If you're in a chair, raise the hands up overhead. If you're lying on the floor, just stretch your arms. Your arms are on the floor. Stretch out through the fingers and through the feet. Stretch long, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then bring your arms into a T shape so there's a arm on each side. You're lying on the floor like this. And then bring the hands and feet together. Rub the soles of the feet, the hands together. Give everything a nice, heat everything up. And then rock yourself back up. And we'll close the way we began in prayer pose. We'll pause for a moment and stay in turn as everybody gets ready for the closure here. And just notice what you notice, maybe how it's different now than when you began this class. Bring your hands together at the heart center in gratitude for yourself. I'm grateful for being here today, for being with you. And let's create a little bit of heat once again in the hands. And pull the hands into the heart center once again. And yoga closes in a lot of different ways. This particular class, we sing a little song. You'll maybe recognize it, maybe you won't, but you'll be able to sing it the second time through for sure. So anyway, let's take a deep breath together. Exhale completely. And now inhale, and we'll sing the sunshine song. And it goes like this. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. And we'll go through it another time. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. And we close with 3 long satnams. Inhale deep. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. May you stay safe in these times. May everything in your life point to higher consciousness. May all beings everywhere begin to awaken to the light of their own true nature. Sat Nam. And if you're wondering what Sat Nam means, it's true identity. Truth is my name. It's also means just about the same thing as if you're in a other yoga class, as if you were to say namaste. It's, the light in me recognizes the light in you.